I mean, yeah, it felt good. And then I took one in transition. That's kind of like where I like to get to early. And it's always good to see the ball go through the hoop. And then I came down and shot another one. Then I came down and shot another one and saw 3 in a row go in. So that gives you a lot of confidence. And then I think I got a couple clean looks after that too. Early in the second quarter, I had a wide open one. And then made another couple tough ones. And even in the second half, I thought I felt like they all came off my hand feeling really good. So like that's what you can find confidence in as a scorer and as a shooter. And excited to get back out there eventually, but yeah.
Caitlin Clark's return is about to shake the entire WNBA, and it might flip the league on its head. While she's been sidelined, the Indiana Fever evolved, the cracks in the league were exposed, and now Caitlin's comeback is on the horizon. But this isn't just another star getting back on the court. This is a team that figured out how to win in her absence. This is a league that struggled to stay relevant without her. And this is Caitlin coming back sharper, tougher, and more dangerous than ever before.
I've never been a patient person my entire life, so this is definitely testing me a little bit, but I think it's going to be really good for me. And like I said, I've just tried to approach it in the best way I possibly can. You know, I can't change it. And but yeah, I think my patience has definitely grown a lot. And like I said, just trying to grow and learn, and I think I've certainly done that.
But here's the part no one's questioning. Was she ever really that injured? And which version of Caitlin Clark is about to take over? Keep watching, because records might not just break, they could be shattered. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA didn't just stumble, it got exposed.
What the hell do we do now? An injured Caitlin Clark saying, good luck now! The basketball goal gets higher and higher. Pressure on people, mainly Angel Reese, under pressure.
When reports surfaced about Caitlin Clark's quad injury and her expected 2-week absence, fans were worried, but few truly grasped how dramatic her absence would be.
That breaking news, Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark is out for a minimum of 2 weeks. That's according to ESPN. The former Iowa Hawkeyes star is suffering a left quad strain. She missed the Fever's first preseason game against the Mystics on May 3rd due to that injury, but played in the following game against the Brazilian national team. It's unclear right now how she re-aggravated the injury.
Ticket prices instantly nosedived. For the Fever's first game without her, you could grab a seat for just $3. Yes, less than the cost of a concession stand snack.
The Indiana Fever's matchup on Friday versus the Sun drew 851,000 viewers, becoming the most viewed WNBA game on ION this season despite Caitlin Clark's absence. So, the Fever, as I expected, don't pull as many views without Caitlin Clark. They don't pull as many views without Caitlin Clark. That is a given. Everybody knows that is a given.
And the much-hyped Caitlin versus Angel Reese rivalry? It fizzled instantly. Angel turned in one of her worst outings of the year, despite a massive crowd of nearly 20,000 watching.
Angel, I'm just going to get straight to it. You shat all over the court tonight. You had more turnovers than field goals made once again. You went 2 for 7 with 3 turnovers and had just 4 points, and you had 5 rebounds to pad your rebound stats. And you were out there trying to stat pad down 30 in the fourth quarter, but you're so trash that you couldn't even do that and managed to score 0 points in garbage time, and tickets were going for $3 tonight. I think you owe everyone a refund for what we witnessed out there. I could have bought a coffee instead of watching whatever the hell that was. Do you have any damn shame, Angel? Thank you.
$3 is actually a fair price because everyone knows without Caitlin Clark, nobody cared about tonight's game. Caitlin Clark runs this league, and we still managed to get clapped up by 30 even without her playing. Thank God she didn't play, or else we might have lost by 50. But I don't sell tickets, I sell victimhood. So the reason we lost tonight is because of racism. Caitlin Clark mocked me when I traveled, and that's very racist. That's why we lost tonight.
The message couldn't have been louder. This league runs through Caitlin Clark. The Fever, they felt it immediately. Their first game without her ended in a loss to the Mystics.
I just had the miserable task of watching the Indiana Fever play basketball without Caitlin Clark. There were a whole lot of things wrong with this game on the basketball side of things. Obviously, the Indiana Fever's interior defense was horrible. If you watched this game, you saw them give up, I think, over 50 points in the paint. Aaliyah Boston looked like a cone down there. It was literally horrible to watch. I haven't seen a team play that bad interior defense in a long time. They were not even trying. It's like Caitlin Clark wasn't playing out there, and they decided, you know what, since Caitlin Clark isn't playing, we're not even going to try. We know we're going to lose. It was horrible to watch. This is a game you could have won against the youngest team in the league. You're playing against a bunch of rookies out there. This was a winnable game for the Indiana Fever. This team, mind you, with Caitlin Clark, literally lost by 2 to the New York Liberty, which is the championship team last year. And without Caitlin Clark, you look trash out there. And it's not even that they look trash. They are boring to watch. It goes back to the question everybody asks. Why are all these people watching women's basketball?
Then came a crushing defeat to the Sun, a team that hadn't won a single game. Even worse, that matchup saw the loss of Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson, 2 of Caitlin's most important supporting pieces. The lineup was wrecked, and suddenly the Fever's entire season looked like it was slipping away.
All right, so let's talk about it, man. No Sophie, no Sydney, all right? Now, of course, we lost Sydney first. And, you know, I had some people saying, man, nobody worried about Sydney. But Sydney is a very important player, okay? She is a very important player. We don't necessarily have too many playmakers.
But then, something unexpected happened. Ari McDonald, brought in on a hardship contract, wasted no time shaking things up.
8-0 run, the Fever now on an 11-2 advantage. Miscommunication and stolen by McDonald, who races to the other end and finishes.
Well, if that doesn't get your engine going for Ari McDonald, you force the timeout off your defense.
She injected speed, intensity, and exactly the energy the Fever had been missing. Suddenly, the team had a pulse again. They got payback against the Mystics. Then, in a showdown with the Chicago Sky, they didn't just get the win, they annihilated them. A combined 62-point beatdown across 2 games. And all of it happened without Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, or head coach Stephanie White. Kelsey Mitchell found her rhythm again. Aaliyah Boston continued owning the paint. Lexi Hull caught fire from beyond the arc, putting herself in the most improved player race. The Fever were maturing, and fast. And they were doing it without their franchise centerpiece. But as the team adapted, whispers started to build. Was Caitlin's injury really that severe? Caitlin publicly said it occurred during the Liberty game, but she couldn't say when. And fans weren't convinced. Many were already speculating that she'd been battling through pain for weeks, noting how her explosiveness had dipped. Even during preseason, analysts flagged that something seemed off. Her burst, her lift, it wasn't quite there. If that's true, it changes the entire conversation. Because here's what's wild. Even running at 60 or 70%, Caitlin was still delivering viral highlights, breaking viewership records, and keeping Indiana in the hunt. Now imagine what happens if she returns at full strength. And that's just the beginning. If the Fever knew Caitlin was playing through injury and still kept putting her out there, that's a serious risk. And a potential legal disaster. We're talking about a player projected to generate nearly $1 billion in value for the WNBA this season alone.
Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point afterwards!
If this was a calculated gamble that finally caught up with them, both the team and league had every reason to keep the full story under wraps. Now look, I'm no legal expert, but the theory isn't far-fetched. In fact, it could actually be a good thing. Because if Caitlin finally took time to fully recover, we may be about to witness the most dangerous version of her yet. And everything she's done during this recovery adds to the excitement. Even while sidelined, Caitlin hasn't tuned out. She's been locked in, watching game film, learning from the bench, even stepping into a leadership role.
22 in blue for the Fever. There's Caitlin Clark, who is out with that lower leg.
She's publicly said she misses practice more than the games themselves. That kind of commitment, it's rare. And for the rest of the WNBA, it should be a major red flag.
Not a very patient person, no.
How is this kind of tested?
Yeah, I think it's It's an opportunity to grow, right? Just try to approach it in the best way I can. It's certainly weird. I think at times the hardest part is just not being able to be involved in practice. I love practice. Not a ton of people always enjoy coming to practice every single day, but that's something I really enjoy. I really enjoy coming out here and competing every single day with my teammates. That's probably honestly what I miss most. Obviously, I miss the games. That goes for anybody that's ever hurt, but I love practice. I love getting better.
Even off the court, she's been active, guiding teammates during huddles, offering real-time feedback, and essentially operating as an assistant coach. Now picture that leadership growth meshing with a Fever team that just found its identity without her. That's a problem for everyone else. Ari McDonald has earned a permanent role. Mitchell is heating up. Boston's a beast. Hull is gaining confidence. And right into that momentum comes a fully recharged Caitlin Clark. The timing couldn't be more perfect. The difference between the WNBA with Caitlin Clark and without her has never been more obvious. The Fever have grown through adversity. The league's reliance on Caitlin, crystal clear, and now with her return right around the corner, records could be shattered all over again. Everything is in place. The pressure is building, and the WNBA is about to experience the full impact of Caitlin Clark's return. This isn't just hype, this is real. Indiana has shown they can win without her. The league, on the other hand, has struggled to thrive in her absence. Now, Caitlin is coming back, sharper, stronger, and with a point to prove. Viewership numbers, expect them to explode again. Ticket prices, already jumping for games where she's expected to play. And opposing teams, they've had their chance. Now they're up against a Fever squad that's deeper, more dangerous, and about to be led by the league's biggest weapon. But what should really have the WNBA on edge is what Caitlin gained while off the court. She's developed a coach's mindset, a deeper awareness of how to make those around her better, and that competitive fire, it's only burned hotter during her time away. If she was pulling massive audiences and setting the tone for the league at 70%, what happens now that she's rested, locked in, and ready to dominate? The answer isn't complicated. The WNBA is on the verge of another shift, and Caitlin Clark is the one driving it. Get ready, because when she returns, it won't just be a comeback, it'll be a warning shot to the entire league.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Dejanay Carrington, you are the dirtiest dirtbag of them all. Dirty play, Dejanay Carrington.
Dejanay Carrington's shocking hair pull attack is the moment that could finally end her WNBA career.
Friends might be one of the vicious assaults, I'm gonna call it, Dejanay Carrington might have done on any player. Worse than the eye poke, I feel like this one right here was.
But this is not just about one foul, it's about a dangerous pattern that many believe the league is turning a blind eye to. And with Caitlin Clark, the biggest name in the sport today, already targeted once before, fans are now asking, will it take someone getting seriously injured before the WNBA steps in?
Dejanay Carrington wants to get on her social media and want to claim that she's the victim and that she's not a dirty player. The league has rescinded fouls. Yeah, the league's rescinding flagrant fouls on you because it's run by a bunch of cowards. They're flagrant fouls. They're dirty plays. They're trashy plays. Someone's going to get very physically injured. At this point, Dejanay Carrington, forget about it. You won't beat these allegations. You won't.
Because right now, this isn't basketball anymore. It's starting to feel more like the WWE.
You're so dangerous. Zeta.
Only there are no staged outcomes here, and real players are being put at real risk. So what exactly happened, and how did it reach this breaking point? Stay tuned, because what you're about to see could spark the biggest player ban in modern WNBA history.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever.
Gets bumped, will take, and hit from 3.
It all started building quietly. Dejanay Carrington has long been known for her tough defense, but recently the conversation has shifted because this is no longer about playing hard, it's about playing dirty. In just the past month, Carrington has racked up 3 official flagrant fouls, and that doesn't even include 2 additional incidents that went uncalled but left players shaken and fans outraged. The latest moment, the one that lit up social media, was her hair pull attack on Sarah Ashley Barker.
Carrington. Whoa!
During a tense third quarter in the Dallas Wings vs. Los Angeles Sparks matchup, Carrington grabbed Barker by her ponytail and yanked her violently to the floor. The arena gasped. The replays were brutal. Yet incredibly, referees called it just a loose ball foul. No flagrant, no technical, no ejection.
Keep this, guys. Check this out right here. Let me know if I'm tripping. Even the announcer had to go, whoa, bro. He was just stunned. Let's watch it again. Watch it again. This is ridiculous. Look at this.
Whoa!
Come on, bro. You can't justify that. You can't justify that. Look at that. That's nasty work, bro. I'm going to just keep it real. That nasty work there, man.
Commentators were stunned, fans were furious, and the clip exploded online with captions asking the obvious, how is this not an ejection?
So Dejanay Carrington, being the dirtbag that she is, she decides to grab a ponytail's worth of Sarah Ashley Barker's hair. Nice. Yank. Woo. Woo. And then Dejanay Carrington has the audacity to sit there on the floor acting as if she did nothing wrong.
But that was only the latest in a growing list of dangerous plays. Let's rewind. Earlier this season, Carrington delivered a reckless hit on her own teammate, Paige Beekers, leaving coaches and fans breathless. Then came a cheap shot on Jessica Shepard, borderline flagrant, again going unpunished.
Throwing it to Jessica, all right? All right, so pay attention to this. Now in this angle, you see Paige already making a pretty good defensive play right here. She has a hand on the ball. She's good to go. That's a good defensive play. But then you have Dejanay coming from behind with force, all right? This is a reckless chase down. Pushes Shepard and Paige forward, right? Gets the block. Now look at Paige Becker's leg, all right? This is why this is dangerous. This isn't basketball right here, man. This is unhinged, upset, frustrated play. That's what this is, all right? That's exactly what this is. Paige's legs are completely from under her. So she's falling straight to her back after you done came in and pushed both of them forward, right? Then not only did she push her forward, she had her hand on the ball, and then she rakes back. Look at that. Bam, right on the eyes, scraping back.
But perhaps the most disturbing was what happened to Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest rising star. During a recent game, Carrington swiped directly at Clark's eye while she was bringing the ball up the court. The footage is crystal clear. Frame by frame, you can see Carrington's fingers rake across Clark's face. Clark instantly winced, grabbing her eye in visible pain. Carrington later tried to downplay the moment as an accident. But the replays tell a very different story. And the fact that it happened to Caitlin Clark, the player drawing millions of new fans to the WNBA, made it even worse. But it doesn't end there. In her last 5 games alone, Carrington has swiped Caitlin Clark's eye, undercut Skylar Diggins midair, delivered multiple hits to opponents' heads, committed a dangerous hair pull, now viral worldwide.
Dejanay, folks, somebody built a little nice complication. Salute to you, anti of dirtbag Dejanay and all of her glory. Look, we got this. We got the Jessica Shepard eye rake heard across the world. Or, folks, I cringe when I see these plays. We got Dejanay Carrington not having any body control at all, falling all over the floor, scratching the t-shirt. Look at her. She's scratching all over me, ref. She's scratching all over me. She's digging her nails into my arm, referee. What are you doing, buddy? We got this play against Ariel Atkins, a clean play, but Dejanay Carrington just loves doing the whole, I'm going to reach back as far as I can and swat at you. I mean, dirtbag. Are you desperate for a big play, or are you just... You guys get the point. We got the Skylar Diggins, the volleyball spike I mean, come on. And then we have our most recent hair pull. Look at that, guys. Come on. In what world is this acceptable? Dirtbag Dejanay is going to get somebody hurt.
This isn't coincidence. This is a pattern. And that's exactly why fans and analysts are so outraged. Under league rules, accumulating this many flagrant fouls should result in an automatic suspension. Yet here we are, with Carrington still suiting up as if nothing happened. And it's not just casual fans who are angry. Former players, sports writers, and veteran analysts have all spoken out. One radio caller summed it up best. This isn't hustle. This is someone treating the court like a back alley. But here's where the story gets even more troubling. At the heart of this growing backlash is not just Carrington, it's WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Despite weeks of viral clips mounting fan outrage and clear evidence of dangerous behavior, Engelbert has remained silent. No public statement, no fine, no suspension, nothing. And that silence has become its own scandal. Because if the league won't even protect Caitlin Clark, the player driving record TV ratings and bringing new fans to the sport, what message does that send? Already, posts across Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube are asking the same thing. Is this the example you want for young girls watching the WNBA? How can the league claim to stand for no room for hate when this conduct is allowed to continue? And most damning of all, is player safety just a talking point, or does it actually matter? As video compilations of Carrington's dirtiest plays continue to circulate, the pressure on the league grows by the day. One analyst put it bluntly, either the WNBA acts now, or they risk losing the credibility they've worked so hard to build. And now the tension has reached its peak. This is no longer just about Dejanay Carrington's actions on the court. It's about the WNBA's integrity and whether the league truly values player safety over protecting its own image. Across the basketball world, the calls are growing louder. Fans, commentators, and former players are united in one message: this can't continue. The idea that a role player like Carrington can repeatedly cross the line, grabbing hair, swiping eyes, undercutting opponents without facing real consequences, has become a public relations disaster, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Because this isn't just about enforcing rules anymore. It's about protecting the league's biggest stars, starting with Caitlin Clark. Clark has already been targeted once. If something worse happens to her on the court because of the league's inaction, the fallout will be catastrophic. Not just for the WNBA's reputation, but for its future growth. That's why many are now calling for a season-long suspension, or even a permanent ban for Carrington. Harsh? Maybe. But when player safety is on the line, harsh action is sometimes necessary. The WNBA says it stands for fair play, professionalism, and no tolerance for hate or violence. Yet the silence around Carrington's repeated offenses tells a very different story. And here's the bottom line. Every game that passes without real consequences only drives more fans away. People tuned in this season because of the excitement surrounding Caitlin Clark and a new generation of stars. They didn't come to watch a highlight reel of dirty plays. Now, all eyes are on Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Will she finally take a stand and show the league takes its own values seriously? Or will she once again choose silence and image over integrity? Because one thing is clear, if this continues much longer, the real people who will be banned won't be the players. It'll be the fans choosing not to watch. What do you think? Should Dejanay Carrington face a permanent ban? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated as this story develops, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this controversy is far from over.